This is my guitar tutorial number 2. It's geared towards people who've played a bit of guitar and know a few chords. It's also geared to people who want to accompany themselves as they sing on the guitar, and it's not teaching lead guitar. It's also for people who hold their guitar this way. There's a minority of people who hold their guitar the opposite way. And this tutorial is based on how I learned to play guitar, and it's not from any school of guitar playing. My first tutorial focused on finger picking and what the right hand does. But of course, we play guitar with both hands, not just the right hand. So this tutorial, the second one, focuses a lot on what the left hand does. Here are the 3 main chords in the key of C, which you probably know. C, F, G7. It's amazing how many simple songs you can play just using those 3 chords. As a matter of fact, some people have made a career out of just using 3 chords. I'm happy to report that recently I myself learned a 4th and a 5th chord, and I'm very proud of that. An exercise to do to develop a fluid changing of chords on your left hand, of course, which I'm sure you probably have twigged to this already, is to take a simple 3-chord song and practice singing it while accompanying yourself in those 3 chords. Examples of a couple simple songs in 3 chords would be Michael Row the Boat Ashore, Jingle Bells, but if you can't stomach that, I'm sure you can come up with your own 3-chord song. The idea is to practice singing a 3-chord song on the guitar and singing it until you become very fluid in making your changes on the guitar. The first thing I talked about in tutorial 1 was developing the use of the independent thumb on the right hand. In this tutorial, I want to focus on the development of the use of the roving little finger on the other hand, the left hand. There are different ways of holding some chords, but for what I'm trying to teach in this tutorial, I would recommend holding the main chords we're talking about in a way that leaves your little finger free. For instance, you'd hold C this way, and the little finger is free. The idea in this approach to guitar playing is to check out with your little finger the kind of sound you get from pressing down strings on different frets in the vicinity of where you're holding the main chord. So, for instance, out of C, by deploying the little finger, the roving little finger, you can, on the first string on the 3rd fret, you can get that extra sound. My approach when I started out was to probe like that, and then listen for the sound of what happened when I pressed the strings down with my little finger in different places, and if the sound was agreeable to my ears, then I'd keep that sound in my repertoire. If it wasn't, I probably wouldn't use it again. So there's one sound you can get with the roving little finger, and then by going on the 2nd string, 3rd fret, you get this sound. And then coming down here on the fourth string, you get this one. So those are three new sounds you can add to those to that main chord by deploying your roving little finger. If you hold F chord this way, you can go here. That's one place that you can go with your little finger. Holding G7, this is a place that you could go to with your little finger. Here. So what you've been doing so far is using additions generated by the roving little finger, but there is another way available to make new sounds. That is to hold a main chord like C and leave out your holding of a string like this. There's the C, but then you, by lifting your finger off that string it was covering, you get this new sound, this one. In F, by doing a similar thing, you get this sound. This is F. You get this sound. In G7, by lifting off a finger, this is what you get. This is G7, and by lifting off your finger, you get. Then, as you develop the usage of your right hand that I was talking about in Tutorial 1, you can begin to play like this, incorporating those additions and subtractions I've mentioned so far. A bit like this. For now, that's the end of guitar tutorial number 2. But thanks for viewing this video, and I really wish all of you who want to play the guitar well. And it's amazing how by adding simple things like I've just showed you in your playing, you can make your guitar playing flower. So I wish you all a great flowering in your guitar playing. And speaking of flowering, I wish you a very merry spring.